Tom's going to talk to us about what the Data City does.
Hello, Paul. Yes, thank you very much.
Hi, Tom. Over to you.
Yeah.
Is your camera on?
Oh, that's the button. Hello, everyone. Sorry about that. I needed to press a red button that let my camera work. So, yes, as Paul mentioned, the Data City is a spin-out from Open Innovations. So I'm the Chief Technical Officer and a co-founder of that. And the Data City is a web service that analyzes the economy. And it lets us answer some very difficult questions extremely quickly. And the question that I think is relevant for today is, what is the economy of North England good at? And I'll just share how we go about answering that question. And then hopefully I will share the answer with you. You've already heard over a day and a half of people actually telling you, the people on the ground, telling you what the economy of North England is good at. And I'm going to share how we know. So the key of how we try and find out what the economy of North England is good at is that we throw away most existing economic statistics. And the reason that we do that is because most existing economic statistics are based on something called SIC codes, standard industrial classifications. And they're very good at defining the existing and the old technology. There's lots of different types of rubber factories that are defined in official statistics, about 5 different ways of processing paper in mills that are defined in official statistics. And there's only a small number of definitions in the SIC code system for modern services, which today make up 2/3 of our economies. So we try and solve that problem. We try and move away from existing classifications towards new ones. What are the new classifications that we call RTICs, real-time industrial classifications? The basis of these RTICs is the websites of every company. So we have the websites of 1.6 million of the 5 million companies in the UK. That means that we have the websites of about 450,000 of the million companies in North England. And then we use machine learning on their web text to classify them into different groups of what they really do. And that's based on what they say they do on their website. So if I go to the website of Antonym, we could actually look at that website and understand very quickly what they do in terms of 3D printing services, 3D printing, metal printing. There is no SIC code for 3D printing. There is no SIC code for 3D metal printing. But if I look on a website of a company, I'll be able to see what they do. So now I'm going to try and share with you what our product looks like. So hopefully you can all see that. This is within our product at the Data City, the 971,871 companies in North England that we consider, the total number of employees that they have, and that's slightly bigger than the real number of employees in North England because we consider the activities of all of these companies even beyond North England. And then we have a nice map showing where they are. It's no surprise to us here in North England that the most number of businesses are in Manchester and Leeds, but Liverpool, Sheffield, Bradford, Cheshire are all there. And we can see all these businesses on a map. And remember, for all of these businesses that we've got here, we have their full website, and we have about 300 different classifications of the type of things that they're doing in the emerging economy. And I'm going to show you the results for that now. So I can go and look at the number of employees by RTIC sector. So that's the number of employees by real-time industrial classification sector. These are sectors that we have defined using machine learning. And I've ticked the box which says location quotient. The reason for that is that that's the absolute number of employees in each sector, but I really care about what is the North of England especially good at, because that should give people all over the world, perhaps in the Netherlands, looking to invest, collaborate with people in North England, it should give an idea of what are the real specialisms of the North of England. And the top one is clean tech. We see that the second one is energy management. And that's no surprise. We know that energy has always been a big part of the North of England ever since the Industrial Revolution. And that has now moved into clean energy, carbon capture and storage, wind farm, wind turbine manufacturing. There's a huge range of specialisms that the north of England has, many of them already in collaboration with the Netherlands in these areas of clean technology and energy management. And what's nice is I'm not just saying that because I feel it. I'm saying that based on the data, based on machine learning, based on all of the websites of all of the companies in North England. We also have a strength in omics, that's genomics, proteomics, lots of other areas of biological research. A huge basis for that is the strength of the universities in North England that have created spin-outs in terms of omics research. Another strength, advanced materials. That's a legacy of the history of textile manufacture in the north largely, but also steel manufacture, especially in places like Sheffield and the northeast with its boat manufacture industry. That's now become advanced materials work. We can look down this list at all of the things, whether it's in manufacturing, services, or a mixture of manufacturing services, and we can see what is North England really, really good at. Data infrastructure, digital creative industries, business support, educational technologies. These are things that we know that the North of England is good at, and we know it because of the data. So what we're working with next at the Data City is to say, we know how to do instantly this type of analysis for anywhere in the UK. And that's a little bit boring for this. It's only half of the reason why we're here today. So what we're working on now is expanding beyond the UK so that we can ask and answer exactly the same questions. First, for the Republic of Ireland, which should be nice and easy because they speak English. And next, work that we've already prototyped but needs a little bit of further work, we'll be looking to expand to the Netherlands. We have to do a little bit of work learning Dutch, but actually computers are much better at Dutch than people. So we are seeing some fantastic early results from that. So in the future, we really hope that we will be able to identify all of the excellent businesses doing work in the UK and then match them with excellent businesses doing similar work in the Netherlands or anywhere all around the world so that we can grow together, see investment happen across places, have collaborations, and solve some of the big problems, especially around clean technology, net zero, together instead of doing it separately. So that's the Data City, where you are at thedatacity.com, where you can learn a lot more, and we're always happy to hear any questions you have.
Thanks, Tom. My computer is now working again.
You're back to being Paul. I think I preferred you as Catherine. Suited you more.
Catherine asked better questions, I think. So we're smack on time. We're ready for our next talks in a second, but I've got a couple of questions for you. So how are people using the Data City at the moment? You've shown us to answer a question today that you've got, but how are your customers using the Data City right now?
So there's a few ways. First of all, places like Greater Manchester and the northeast of England are using the data to understand their industrial strengths so that their local governments can invest in success there. And that's one use case, to write industrial strategies for places, to understand what they're good at and support those businesses and industries. National government's also very interested, and that's because the UK government obviously wants to support all parts of the UK to succeed. And in order to do that, they need to know which companies are doing interesting things, and they need to get in touch with them to promote their growth. And the truth is that there's no way to do that without thousands and thousands of people with their feet on the ground talking to lots and lots of businesses. But the way that you make those introductions and you find those companies in the first place is definitely something that the Data City, with all of those companies' websites and an understanding of what they do, can help with. And then I think there's a third group that's really interesting, which is governments from abroad, but even more importantly, investors from all over the world who are looking for the exciting next big thing, the really innovative company that's doing new things, growing quickly. they're looking for these companies so that they can say, do we want to invest in this company? Do we want to maybe even buy this company? Do we want to be scared for our existing investments that they've got a new competitor coming along? So those kind of insights are hugely valuable to venture capitalists, investment firms, banks, also governments all around the world are interested in that kind of thing. And I suppose if we look at the people that we've had talking over the last day and a half, we've seen some fantastically innovative companies doing new things that are really exciting. But we've only had time for 10 or 20 of those companies. What we let you do is have time to look at 1 million of those companies all at once and filter them to exactly what you want. And it's some blend of the two, finding the companies in the first place, but then looking at them in detail, that I think is the real value of the data city.
And just before we finish, something I bang on about is killing reports. How are we seeing, when people start applying data rather than narrative to answering questions, could you just tell us something how about the speed and the way people ask questions is changing?
Yeah, sure. So I didn't dare do it because it's never a wise idea to show your product live. So when I showed the product there, I had calculated the answers in advance. The answers, I will admit now, they did take quite long to calculate. So they took 24 seconds to go from no answer to the answer that I just showed on the screen. And if I wanted to ask a question about companies in Northern Ireland, or maybe just in Bristol, or I was only interested in companies in Ipswich, that would also take 20 seconds to get the answer. And I think that acceleration from probably 6 months from having an idea, commissioning a report, getting consultants out to analyze existing economic data, trying to generate new data sets, that'll probably take you at least 6 months previously, with a huge bill for consultancy on top of that. We can answer that question just as well, usually better, in 20 seconds. And instead of a report, which is a 60-page PDF that you have to download and think about, you have the data right there. And if you've got any questions, if you say, oh, this company that's doing 3D metal printing in Leeds looks really interesting, who are they? Well, in our platform, you just click the button, you're straight through to answer them, and you're ringing Rev up and you're saying, Rev, I've got a real problem. I need some 3D printed metal right now. So that's the difference in speed that you can have from going from 60-page PDF with 6 months of lead time to instant answers in about 20 seconds.
Fantastic. And I'm all for killing reports so you don't have to actually create them, build them, read them, and moan about them when they're stuck on your shelf. So fantastic work. Thanks very much, Tom.